Northeast Michigan ended 2018 with a great year of sports.
So let's look back and check out some of those great moments.
Remember when Whittemore Prescott boys basketball won back-to-back district championship titles and Coach got soaked?
Also, a great softball season for Alpena, advancing to the state quarterfinals for the first time since 2008.
Plus, all Gres-Sims football made history, earning their first playoff win and advancing far in playoffs.
We'll have those stories plus your 3 top plays. WBKB Sports Year in Review 2018 kicks off now.
And now, the top sports stories from 2018. You're watching WBKB's Year in Review.
We've got to start off the year with winners high school basketball.
So let's tip things off with Alpena. The Wildcats finished the season without a win in the Big North Conference and a 9-11 overall record. The season wasn't a total wash. Many of the current starters gained valuable experience, and Chris DeRocher hit 1,000 career points as a junior.
That was kind of lucky on my part. I ended up missing a shot, but I got it back and made the shot to get my 1,000 points. Pretty sweet. I thought it would be around like 17 or something like that, but it was pretty sweet when I realized I actually got it. The past 3 years I've been on this team, been putting in work a lot. It's just good to see all the hard work I've done pay off. I mean, it's always great to score 1,000 points, especially in your junior year.
Now the Hillman boys basketball team took their postseason run all the way to the state quarterfinals for Class D. The Tigers, led by head coach Eric Majinski, finished the season 24-1. Corey Hennigan led the team at the post, followed by Brandon Banks, Andrew Funk, and Jared Jurgens at guard. Billy Colkin put up some buckets, but his defensive effort was huge. A great team that just fell short.
Mayo Thunderbolts finished the 2017-2018 season 17-7. Some of the season highlights included an overtime win over Oscoda, defeating Au Gres for the district title and taking down Central Lake in the regional semifinal. The Bolts would eventually fall to Hillman in the regional final, but they showed they have a future with Drew Hess.
And the Whittemore Prescott boys basketball team finished the season with back-to-back district titles after taking down Oscoda 58-52 and then ending at the regional final. The Red and White finished the season 18-6, the program's best since 1999. Plus, the Cardinals' 6'3" post Kyle Colton capped off a memorable senior season by earning Class C honorable mention All-State honors.
The Hillman girls season started with a tough loss to Cedarville, but the Tigers finished the rest of the regular season without taking another loss. They blew out Indian River 58-10 for their 6th win of the season. The girls lost a heartbreaker to Rogers City in the district semifinal 40-38.
And the Alpena Wildcats girls basketball squad was led by a new leader at the helm, head coach Aaron Andrews. The Green and White finished the season 12-7 while learning a new playbook. The Wildcats lost in the district first round to Gaylord, and Major led the team, averaging 11 points per game and making the Big North Conference first team.
The Rogers City girls basketball team went 15-4 during the regular season, with a winning streak that lasted 7 games. They defeated Hillman in the district semifinals, Posen for the district title, Frankfort in the regional semifinal, but lost 46-43 in a double overtime heartbreaker match against Bel Air for the regional title. Heading into spring sports, let's start with high school softball. Rogers City had a pretty good season, didn't they, Larissa?
An amazing season, Mike. The Hurons advanced all the way to the state semifinals in East Lansing. Rogers City ended the season 31-6 under head coach Carl Grambeau. The Hurons were defeated by the Coleman Comets 2-0. Rogers City was led by seniors Hannah Fleming and Kayla Rabeau, who signed to play shortstop at Mott Community College. A remarkable year that included the Hurons hitting 9 home runs in their district semifinal, setting a state record and winning their 3rd straight regional championship.
Alpena softball cruised their way through districts with wins over Marquette and TC Central. Regionals weren't the same walk in the park. It took extra innings for Alpena to take down Bay City Western, but they still came away with a regional title and a trip to the state quarterfinals. They unfortunately lost to Caledonia, but a great season for the Green and White softball team.
On to baseball. The Onaway Cardinals made history by winning the school's first regional game, defeating Mile 5-1 in the semifinal, their last win in playoffs. Senior Trevor Regglesworth took over on the pitching mound this season, throwing many complete games. Regglesworth signed to play ball at Alma College, where he will start in spring 2019.
The Alpena Wildcats put together a strong track and field team, especially at state.
Wildcats dominated in field events. Junior Faith Whitey placed 7th overall in shot put and 19th in discus. Sophomore Gabe Bullis cleared 15 feet in pole vault. He would take his skills to nationals in the emerging elite division. Aiden Smith placed 9th in the 3,200 meter run, and his twin brother Josh Smith finished 7th in the 1,600 meter run.
9 Division IV high schools took track and field athletes to state. And the best competition was the boys' 400-meter dash between Augray's Ryan Schweiderson and Hale's Patrick Harris. The two put up a good fight at regionals, but Harris took the state title. Schweiderson finished 2nd. We are hoping for another rematch between the two seniors.
The 44th annual brown trout tournament ended with a bang. A lot of fish were caught, including a few brown trout.
But Larissa, nobody caught the big brownie worth $25,000.
That was crazy.
On the last day, Ian Duranson brought in a huge king salmon weighing in at 25.35 pounds. He caught the fish on Saturday night with his team, the Sand Crawlers, and it was a battle reeling in the beast.
We were very excited to get that fish in the boat. None of us really knew how big it was when the fish got on. We knew it was a big fish, and we were all very excited. And needless to say, I was very nervous. I was the first one to the rod, and it put up a very good fight. It took us about 15-20 minutes to get it in. You could have heard a pin drop on the boat because everybody was just holding their breaths, waiting to get the fish in.
Northeast Michigan is becoming an international destination location for outdoor sports. The Rockport Xterra, hosted at Rockport State Park in August, is a big reason why. The Olympic, sprint, and relay trials started the same for everyone. A nice swim in Lake Huron. Following the swim between 500 and 1,000 meters, participants then ran to a staging area where they would either begin their bike portion or continue running.
You get to run out on a fast track trail and then run along Lake Huron all the way back. Just incredibly breathtaking. It's hard to focus on the competition and not take in the beautiful scenery while you're going along.
Participants then returned after navigating through a very technical bike trail to begin their run. The run starts with an uphill climb on unstable rocks. While some participants were able to conquer the hill with ease, others definitely had a different kind of appreciation for the hill. Alpena native Chris Olds won the sprint trial, taking just over an hour to complete the event. The event wasn't limited to just Michigan natives. People from across the country and one person from Brazil took part in the race.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible, to really think about people making this a destination to compete. Because, I mean, it really is just a gem here in Northeast Michigan.
For Chris and his wife, Tracy, the event also marked a special day.
So it's our 11th anniversary, and this is how we decided to treat ourselves, was to put ourselves through a little bit of torture.
High school football in Northeast Michigan had a great season. 8 local teams advanced to the playoffs.
The Alpena Wildcats did not make postseason, but one of their athletes had a record-breaking year. Senior running back Logan Guthrie broke the all-time rushing record for Alpena. Austin Leak earned the record in 2011 with 2,652 yards. In the 2018 season alone, Guthrie rushed for 1,073 yards. The record broke during Alpena's last game against Chelsea, and he was super excited.
I was a little worried because obviously they were targeting me, but I just didn't keep it in my head and try to get as far as I can and run through the kids as much, get every down that I can. And in the middle of the game when they announced that, I was so fired up. But you got to push through.
And the best of luck to Logan at Central Michigan. In Division 8, Johannesburg Lewiston had high hopes and strong leadership from Tyson Clays, Brett Crandall, and Tyler Schimmel. While losing their first game to Manton, Johannesburg would go on to win out the rest of the regular season to finish 8-1. The team was also ranked as high as 6th by the Michigan Associated Press in Division 8. The Cardinals won a thriller against Merrill, but were forced out of the playoffs by Breckenridge in the district final.
The Oscoda Owls played a great season that ended short. The Owls won the North Star League title outright for the first time since 1976. Oscoda lost round 1 of playoffs to Iron Mountain, finishing the season 8-2. Junior quarterback Braden Malik and sophomore wide receiver Owen Franklin led the charge on offense and defense. Good leadership that will return next year.
Under first-year head coach Jesse Fenstermaker, the Rogers City Hurons saw a huge improvement from their 2017 2-7 season. Fenstermaker led the Hurons to an 8-1 record and pre-district berth against Iron River West. While they were knocked out of the playoffs in the first round, junior J.D. Ellenberger was awarded All-State honors by the MHS FCA.
The Posen Vikings won their first playoff game in 8-man football since 2015, but lost in the second round to Cedarville. Posen finished the year with 2 senior running backs rushing over 1,000 yards in one season. Sam Burnett and Mark Wisniewski. Burnett rushed for 1,201 yards and 18 touchdowns. The Vikings finished the season 8-3.
The Hillman Tigers made the switch to 8-man and became one of the top area programs. Their sole regular season loss was to state semifinalist Gres, and they finished 8-1. They were knocked out in the pre-regional round by Cedarville. The Tigers have a bright future with head coach Cody Allen and skill players Caleb Sanders and Gunnar Mellingen.
What an exciting year for the Gres-Sims Wolverines football team, who earned their first playoff win and advanced far in playoffs. Let's look back at history in the books. In a small northeast Michigan town with an enrollment of 160 students sits Gres-Sims High School, home of the Maroon and Gold Wolverines. Go! After losing their 12th playoff game in school history to the Hillman Tigers in 2017, the Wolverines wanted revenge.
Last year was a really good run, but we still didn't make history. We haven't won a playoff game yet in school's history, so if we could do that this year, that'd be something to remember.
Still on the hunt for their first ever football playoff victory, but this time in 8-man football.
Let's go! One more on 3! 1, 2, 3! Let's go! Let's go!
Head coach Chad Zion, entering his last season at the helm, was not sure how speed and game planning changed at the 8-man level. But wow, did Gres-Sims start off hot. At 3-0, the Wolverines face undefeated Hillman, a rematch of their first round playoff loss in 2017.
It's unbelievable. We put so much hard work into getting to this point. Hopefully we can keep it rolling. They're a solid team, but it's definitely one that, looking at, in the beginning of the year, you definitely want to win. It's almost kind of a redemption game for us and something we want to take care of.
Ryan Schweiderson has wheels. Look at him go. He goes 65 yards for the touchdown.
Gres did more than take care of the Tigers. The Wolverines dominated Hillman 50-12. The Maroon and Gold would outscore opponents 200-6 in their next 3 games combined before facing the Posen Vikings, who are 6-1 entering Week 8. This is why the Wolverines are so good. Caden Zion on the quarterback keeper going Superman mode, taking the 46-6 lead. The Wolverines defeated the Vikings 68-12, sitting at 8-0.
To be a senior and to go out and win your league outright, it means more than anything. Hopefully we can just keep it going for the rest of the season.
The Wolverines did just that, winning their last regular season game over Brethren 62-6. Then it was time to announce the 8-man Division I postseason brackets on Fox Sports Detroit. And here was the Wolverines' reaction. Gres-Sims had one more chance at earning their first playoff win in school history as they hosted the Mayville Wildcats. The Wolverines fought back from a 6-0 deficit with a 36-yard touchdown by speedster Ryan Schweiderson, and Gres never looked back, topping Mayville 56-6.
It was really exciting. It means the world to us, especially in the first year 8-man, to be the guys that said, we did it, we were the first ones to do it. It's everything.
Then the Wolverines hosted the Deckerville Eagles, and the regional championship trophy was on the line.
1, 2, 3, one more!
The Wolverines started off strong. Caden Zion powered his way in for a quarterback keeper. Gres' defense allowed the most points all season, but Gres retained control and won their first football trophy 72-28.
Every time you just think, wow, it'd be great just to hold that up and, to be able to take it back into that school and not send it with them, put it in the trophy case. It feels amazing.
As the saying goes in Gres-Sims, one more. And that's the one more chance the Wolverines will have in the state semifinal against Pickford on Saturday at 3 p.m. The Wolverines not only had to prep for a tough opponent, but cold, snowy weather.
Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. 27 degrees around when the game will start at 3 p.m., dropping to the lower 20s as we go into the evening.
Pickford, located in the Upper Peninsula, had snow piled on the ground. Between the snow and Panthers' 6'8" Nicholas Eddington on the defensive attack, Zion threw 3 interceptions before Pickford took a 36-6 lead at halftime. Gres fought back with a pick 6 by Fletcher Fortin and touchdown catch from Zion to Ben Salgett.
but Pickford won 50-20. That marked the end of the road for the Gres-Sims Wolverines in their historic season. But it was a small ember that started a spark of hope for the future of AGS.
We had so many great 8-man players this season. It's hard to recognize just one.
For sure, but we have to send this one back down to Gres-Sims. Senior quarterback Caden Zion, he helped lead the Wolverines to a Cinderella season. Zion completed 118 for 193 passes for 2,125 yards and 36 touchdowns. The senior threw 4 interceptions, but all in playoffs. He also rushed for 717 yards and 10 touchdowns, a force to be reckoned with on defense as well. Congrats to Caden.
It's amazing, and you know, I couldn't have done it without all my teammates. You know, my dad coaching me all the way from, you know, since I was probably 10, 11 years old, and I mean, the teammates that I have are great, and it was just a great year, and to get all these awards is awesome.
A lot of ups and downs, a lot of years that I've been very fortunate to have the opportunity, but very rewarding to see the success he's had in his senior year, and a lot of things that are much deserving.
On the 11-man side, one athlete stood out to us and all of our area coaches. Whittemore Prescott's Ridge Schutte took the crown for our 11-man player of the year. The Cardinal running back ran for 1,958 yards during the season and scored 22 touchdowns. Schutte also contributed 90 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception on defense.
I'm pretty sure I like defense better, but you know, whatever goes, goes. I give everything I got for each one. My family from all over the country was actually pretty proud of me, so that was pretty cool.
They knew that Ridge was going to get the ball, and they still couldn't stop it. I hope someday I get to coach another kid that is as good of a football player as Ridge Schutte, but those don't come around every day.
It's time to talk about volleyball.
You know, Larissa, we had quite a few district winners, but only one claimed a regional title. That team is the hard-hitting Onaway Cardinals. Onaway hosted their own regional and then took home the regional trophy. The highlight of their season may have come with their come-from-behind victory against Rudyard to claim a regional title. Their inspiring season ended following a close defeat at the hands of Kearney NATO.
Mayo Thunderbolts advanced to regionals this fall. Sophomore Reagan McGregor carried the team at the net. The Thunderbolts' best game was at the district final against Hale. Battle that finished in 5 sets. Senior Claudia Wilson made a diving save right here on the game-winning point to earn the Thunderbolts' first district title since 2015. Mayo's season came to an end at the regional semifinal against Bel Air.
When you say Rogers City volleyball, it's hard not to think of Taylor Fleming. She'd been a part of 3 district titles, 2 regional titles, and 2 state semifinal appearances. Rogers City captured a 4th district title win with Fleming at the helm, but fell in the regional semifinal to state semifinalist TC St. Francis. Fleming's volleyball career will continue at Lake Superior State University.
It's a surreal experience because not many people get to experience the stuff that I've been through. Coming up as a freshman, I had to learn what I was actually capable of and being able to push myself to the fullest potential.
Sometimes you just run into that exceptional athlete, and I think she's just one of those. It's going to be tough, but we wish her all the best as she's moving on in her career, and we'll be making sure we get up there and watch her.
Thank you for pushing me to be the greatest that I can be.
Hillman had one of the most successful volleyball seasons since 2009, the last time they won a district title. The Tigers' efforts ended in the regional semifinal against Leland, the state runner-ups. Hillman's Brooke Jones provided lots of kills, aces, and digs, but give credit to Allison Samp for her setting and serving. Hillman finished the season 12-4.
Let's go ahead and talk about boys soccer here, Larissa. The Alpena Wildcats, led by Tim Storch, had a good season that just fell short in the first round of districts against Petoskey, where they fell 2-1.
It was great to see senior midfielder Aiden Day break a few Alpena school records in the process. Most goals, assists, and points in a high school career, making 55 goals, 35 assists, and 90 points. Plus, most goals in one game, which Day set as a junior. That is why Day was honored as the Big North Conference Player of the Year, District Player of the Year, First Team All-Region, and Honorable Mention All-State.
It's a very good feeling, you know. I've been working up to that, you know, my whole high school career, before high school. So, I mean, I knew I was capable of it before the year. They can have 2 or 3 guys on you, and then you are really good at passing, which I am, and I can feed guys in so they can score. I'm not just a one-man thing. I can do multiple things.
One of the best things I saw in soccer this season came from Lincoln Alcona. The school isn't big enough to have both a boys and girls team, but head coach Tim Monroe doesn't let gender be a factor. Instead, both boys and girls share the field for Alcona's soccer team. Following seniors Aiden Roble and Josh Kilborn, the Tigers held their district at home. They defeated Houghton Lake in the first round 9-1 and then took down Fairview 8-0. Alcona's season ended in a 1-0 heartbreaker for the second straight year against Roscommon.
The Alpena Wildcats cross-country team finished a successful season at Division I states this year. The boys, led by sophomore Drew Seabase, who finished 14th, and senior twins Josh and Aiden Smith helped the team finish 7th overall. For the girls, senior Maddie Boyd and freshman Maddie Schmansky qualified for states, and Boyd completed her goal to place in the top 30. Alpena also finished first in the state for Team GPA.
We've had some really incredible plays this year in local sports.
And now it's time to look back at our top 3.
Let's start with the third best play. Alpena Soccer hosting Tawas, the connection of the game. Aiden Day with the header just over the goalie and in. That was good for Day's first career header and a proud moment for the Big North Conference Player of the Year.
For our second best top play, we've got an Gres-Sims touchdown against Hillman. Speedster Ryan Schweiderson gets the handoff. He's in a race against a ref. A sliding finish, and Schweiderson scores. That's one of the best touchdown finishes we've ever seen.
Now it's time for the best play of the year. It happened at a volleyball game between Hillman and Alcona. Hillman's Anna Callender slams it down, but it bounces off Rose Schopfer's head, over the net, and in. Point for Alcona. Let's slow this one down a bit and see this once-in-a-lifetime play one more time. Way to use your head, Rose.
That's all we have for this year's edition of the Sports Year in Review.
We look forward to a great year of sports in 2019 and wish you a happy new year.